Halloween is just around the corner, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool spewing pumpkin. Start with a regular pumpkin. It can be as little or large as you like, really. Then use a knife to carefully cut off the top. If you hold the knife at an angle as you push it in, it'll make a nice tapered ledge to hold the lid when you put it back on later. So remove the top and cut off any stringy parts if there's any stuck on. I put these into a bowl because we'll be using them later. Then use a spoon to scoop out all the stringy innards and the pumpkin seeds, and put these in the same bowl. Try to completely remove it all, because this is going to be our pumpkin spew. You can see it's nice and stringy and wet. Next we're going to use our spoon to remove the fleshy part of the pumpkin to reduce the wall thickness a little. Scratch all around the insides with the spoon and scoop it out into a different bowl. This part of the pumpkin tastes delicious, and we can use it for cooking. Now our pumpkin is nicely hollowed out, we can draw on our design with a pen. I started with some upturned eyebrows, followed by some squinting eyes, then a wide open mouth, ready for the spew. Instead of cutting out holes for the eyes and eyebrows, I decided to just remove the skin in front of the pumpkin flesh carefully with my knife, like this. Then I used my knife to cut out a hole for his mouth. Once you're done, you can use a bit of wet kitchen paper to wipe off any pen marks. And that's our pumpkin carved and ready. If you like, you can mix a bit of blue and red food colouring together to make a dark colour, and brush it onto the fleshy part of the pumpkin for the eyebrows and eyes to darken them up. So, now it's time to add the spew. And to start with, I'm using the innards which we removed earlier. I spooned a load of it so it's coming out of his mouth, and spread it across the table in a nice projectile vomiting fashion so it looks like he's spewing up his insides. Pretty gross, huh? You can see the stringy pumpkin flesh hanging out of his mouth. And combined with the pumpkin seeds, it really does look fantastic. It's a perfect display to have in the corner of your room somewhere for a Halloween party. The eyes and the eyebrows really do look like he's screwing up his face as he spews across the table. I cleaned up the pumpkin spew because I wanted to use him for something else. This spewing pumpkin nacho snack bar. To start with, I found a tub that sits snugly inside the pumpkin, underneath the lid. I filled it with sour cream and chive dip, and placed it inside. We want it to hang from the top, not sit on the base. And you might find it helps to use a toothpick to support the rim of the tub, like this. And for the spew, I'm going to make my own guacamole. I carefully cut an avocado in half, removed the stone, and scraped it out of the skin into a bowl. I added 3 avocados in total, then gave them a mash. Next, slice up a tomato into small cubes, and add that. Sprinkle over some chili flakes. I added 2 tablespoons of lime juice, and a good handful of fresh coriander, which I also chopped up. Then give it a good mix, and add some salt and pepper. And there we go. Beautiful homemade guacamole, or pumpkin spew. I put a large plate down in front of the pumpkin, then spooned on the spew across the plate, and out of his mouth. It already looks pretty wicked. I added a jar of salsa dip, then filled all the way around with tortilla chips. And there we have our nacho snack bar. Pretty cool, huh? And perfect for a Halloween party. You can remove the lid and dip one straight in the top. Dig into the pumpkin spew. It really tastes amazing. The green colour does look a little gross, and having it running out of his mouth makes for an amazing display. If you like, another way you can do it is spread the tortillas out onto a baking tray, splatter a bit of the salsa dip all over, then grate over some cheese too. Place this in the oven to warm them up and melt the cheese. After 10 minutes, I placed them on a mat in front of the pumpkin. Then spooned the guacamole out of the mouth and across the nachos. It's a really fun way of doing it. Looking like he's vomited all over the food. Again, it's a great display for a party. And warm nachos with stringy cheese is just delicious. Perfect sort of party sharing food. And your guests will love scooping up the spew. Oh, gross but good. And finally, if you don't want to use your pumpkin for a food display, you could set it up in the bathroom so he's spewing down into the loo. This'll give your guests a real surprise when they go to the toilet. Oh, gross. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've done loads more pumpkin and Halloween themed videos, which you can see by clicking on the links. And if you want to be notified every time I launch a new video, you can subscribe to my channel, then you need to click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. Have fun, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.